A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH286, Patricia and David, on what has been a really lovely day here. I'm sorry about the quasi-stationary front that many of you are stuck in, but it was a lovely, sunny, fairly cloudy earlier on, but now it's only 5% cloud cover. 1 knot of northerly wind, 1026 steady on the bar, and 20 degrees. So how about that? And I've just been looking at an email from Max on Y2K with all the delicious things that they're buying in the market and cooking up a storm in Noumea. Boy, you can get some beautiful food there. Evidently good tuna, really, really fresh tuna. And I'm also looking at a page of, I haven't counted them up, there are so many boats heading south, it's just amazing. So they'll certainly be really pleased to get out of that murk. We heard from Bent, who didn't come on last night, they actually had winds up to 40 knots. So not a lot of progress has been made by some people. There's certainly not going to be a lot of speed records, not like the last group. So I better tell you first of all, the World Series final was on today. It was a really nail-biting one. It went into extra innings between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. And the final score was 4-5 to the Dodgers, who won the World Series. Okay, over to Mackay, Gulf Harbour Radio. Oh, it's amazing because I didn't turn down my radio here. You're booming through here just as well as you are onto the northern antenna. So that bodes well for the evening, Barry. And I see you're on the go again. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Trish. You're 5x9 here, 2-5 copy. Really good. Last night when we hove to, we were seeing sustained 35 knots. And this morning I looked at my logs and the peak that was measured was 50 knots. I don't know how long that lasted, but that was in the log. So it was ugly. So are you ready for my report? Over.
Roger.
Okay, my location, current position is 2934 south, 17523 east, on a course of 170, doing 5.0 knots, with a wind of southeast, or east, yeah, it's mainly southeast, it's like 134 degrees, it's just from the worst possible direction. It's not what the ECMWF has predicted for us. And currently it's light, it's at 11 knots. I'm motor sailing into it, so trying to get some easting. The sea state, we've got about a 1 meter sea from the east-southeast, and 100% overcast with rain, and a BART of 1024 over.
1024. Okay, we have, God, it'd be nice for that thing to move along, wouldn't it? 2934 south, 17523 east, 170 true course, 5 knots motoring into a southeast of 11, 134 true it is, 1 meter seas, east-southeast, 100% cloud cover with rain, and 1024 on the bar. Well, I guess there'll be a couple of other boats suffering with you. I might take, after I talk to Andy, Skylark next because, Beyond the Stars. Yeah, I tell you what, no, there's not going to be a lot of cheerful people tonight, David. But anyway, it's good that all is well on board, Barry, and we'll clear with you and go to Andy, Soy Libre.
Soy Libre, how copy?
Oh, good copy straight away. Go ahead.
Okay, 29 degrees, 35 minutes south, 175 degrees, 30 minutes east. I have a magnetic course of 180, and I'm doing 6 knots. Everything else is the same as Barry's.
Okay, enjoying that quasi-stationary front at 2935 17530 east, not too far away. you really could be generous and drop off some of that lovely fresh fish. But anyway, 180 magnetic at 6 knots, and the rest is the same as Barry with miserable rain. I suppose you didn't really want to hear me talking about how lovely it is here, but you're ever so close to the 30 mark, so we'll pass that tonight, and then you'll be on the home straight. Andy, over.
Alrighty, how long do we have before we blow through the other side of this?
Well, I tell you what, I will wait for David to cover that, because I don't like passing on not very cheerful news. So I will wait for David. But he did say it is a quasi-stationary when I asked earlier on. That will give you a hint. Sorry. Okay, we'll clear with Andy and go to Beyond the Stars. Good evening, Mary.
Good evening, Patricia from Beyond the Stars. How copy?
Yeah, nice copy. Boy, all of you are peaking 9 tonight, so it's great copy. Go ahead, over.
We are at 3212 South, 17534 East, course over ground 205, speed over ground 6 knots. The true wind direction is 7-3. The wind speed is 24 to 28. 24 to 28. We have 1.5 meter wave with the occasional 2.5 meter wave. Short period, various directions, and I was sailing with 3 reefs in the main.
Yeah, boy, but you're doing very well. You've made great progress. 3212 south, 17534 east, on a course of 205 true at 6 knots with 3 reefs in the main. Yeah, David wants the cloud cover when I'm finished. 073, we'll call it northeast, a bit more east, 24 to 28, and 1.5 meter to 2.5 meter variable. God, it must not be very comfortable, but what is the cloud cover, over?
It's complete cloud cover. And you are correct, it's really not been very comfortable on board all day. In fact, we actually skipped a few green waves over, managed to get everything wet.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Gosh, how miserable. Well, at least you're not all that far to go. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. But, yes, it doesn't sound very nice. It's sort of a rite of passage coming to New Zealand, isn't it, to get one front? But this one certainly is hanging around. Okay, well, I won't ask you about how you're feeling. It just sounds a little bit rough for my thoughts, but hope all is well. Have a safe night, Mary, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Over.
Thank you. Appreciate you doing this, Matt. It really means a lot.
Yeah, it's good to hear sometimes that it is different, not too far away. So it's wonderful when it's good signals from everybody. And I believe Skylark will probably have the same tale of woe. Phil, are you on frequency?
Good evening, Patricia. This is Skylark. Copy?
Yep, you're all up there as well. Strength 8 and 9. Go ahead.
Current position is 32 degrees, 3 minutes south, 176 degrees, 2 minutes east, course 215 magnetic, speed 9.0 knots, wind 25 knots east, speed 3.0 east swell, short period, 100% overcast, all well.
Oh, there's nothing like waterline. At least you're getting there pretty quickly. 3233 south, 17622 east, 215 magnetic course and 9 knots, 25 knots from the east. Boy, that thing's hanging on. 3 meter short period swell from the east, 100% cloud cover. Well, I guess there's no gourmet cooking going on tonight, Phil. Over.
Yeah, negative on the gourmet cooking and negative on the fish. We finally broke free this morning around 3 a.m. From the frontal system and got some steady wind. So it's kind of the lesser of two evils. But we did see some gusts. Well, actually, we saw sustained 35 knots at one stage with quite steep 3.5 meter seas with occasional breaking crests. Over.
Yeah, it's a case of just staying safe with a good sail plan, minimal sail plan in those conditions, isn't it? But you've obviously weathered it and doing well at the moment. Boy, 25 knots is pretty sturdy though. Yeah, it's that's interesting. Right down to 32, especially when we're sitting here with hardly any wind at all. The joys of the atmosphere. Okay, well, stay safe, you crew, on Skylark, and we'll move to Bent Gulf Harbour Radio. Bent might be dealing with it as well again tonight. Let's try Zen again. Over.
This is Zen again, receiving you 5 copy.
Yep, same. Well, you're not quite as strong as the others, are you? Up to 7 and 8 strength, but it's very good tonight, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay, Zen again, position 3104 south, 17647 east, tracking 2102 at 5 knots, wind east southeast at 6 wind east-southeast 1622. Seas 1 meter, swell 2 meters, cloud broken, bar 1017, air temperature 19. All aboard, over.
Okay, then again, 3104 south, 17647 east, on a course of 210 true, 5 knots, east-southeast there at 16, gusting 22, 1 meter seas, 2 meters swell, and broken cloud 1017 and 19 on the bar. Yeah, there's quite a pressure differential between us, isn't there? We're at 1026. No wonder the wind. Okay, well, sounds you are getting closer. So hope all is well with everybody, and we'll talk again tomorrow, Mike. Over.
Yeah, also on board, waiting to hear whether the nasty stuff is still ahead of us. I suspect it is, but let's see.
The tension mounts. All right, let's go to Jim on Rome, Gulf Harbour. Nothing heard from Rome or Bent, and I will go to Taku, but just before we go across to there, I will let you know that Pura Vida are at 2616 south, 17952 east. Course over ground is 7 knots. The speed over ground is 7 knots. Course over ground is 220, and they have the winds 10 to 14 from just north of east. It's been around northeast for a time today as well. Swell 1.5 east northeast, 60% cloud cover, and the bar of 1017 and 24 degrees, all well on board. They've had the Jenica up all afternoon, no fish, but they did catch a small skipjack yesterday. and they're looking at coming into Auckland on the 6th. And it's a very good evening in Noumea, well, afternoon as it is at the moment. Black cloud on the mountains. This is from Y2K, still southeast and quite windy. 1012 and 29. Boy, it's just been holding up there. So Taku might wish that they had not left. Taku, Gulf Harbour Radio. Yeah, not too strong there, Sabrina, but not too bad and certainly good and readable. Go ahead.
Our position is 2356 south, 16118 east, course 250 true, speed over ground 4 knots, wind 5-10 knots of wind from the south, 50% ground cover and 1 meter swell. Over.
Okay, Taku on their way to Southport, 2356 south, 16118 east, on a course of 250 true, 4 knots, 5 to 10 knots from the south, 50% cloud cover and a 1 metre swell. Well, steady progress there, Sabrina, and hello to Curtis, over.
Thank you so much. And we missed the beginning there. Who ended up winning the World Series?
The Dodgers. Sorry.
Aw, it's a shame. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, I was for the Blue Jays. When I first went to America, it was a long time ago, and the Blue Jays won the World Series. I always got a chuckle with it being the World Series, given that, it's only America, basically. And when I got to America, I found that at least Canada was there. So I was really supporting them, and that was when they won. Not this time, but it was a very, very exciting game. So they put up a good show. David, well, you don't even support the Dodgers because...
No.
Oh, okay, but he's patriotic. All right, we'll clear with Taku. Pass the microphone and see when this confounded front is going to move off the very large number of boats heading south.
Well, I'm old enough to remember the Dodgers as the Brooklyn Dodgers, and I'm from New York, and you would think, well, that's okay, Brooklyn is obviously New York, but that's also the home of the Yankees, the New York Yankees. And needless to say, that's who, this was life and death, this Dodgers versus Yankees. And then when the Dodgers moved to Los Angeles, my God. You can say, well, that was a long time ago, but it's in their genes, It's just the crummy team they were when they were in New York, as far as I'm concerned. And the Yankees, of course, are still there. But anyway, good evening to our listeners. Probably not much fun in the funnel band last night, as we've heard, but it's a quasi-stationary front, and it's still there. So 30 south seems to me like the axis. The west end of this pretty large band starts at 173 east. The eastern end continues past 175 west, and it keeps on going. The northern edge of the cloud band is about 27 south, maybe 25 south, toward the western end. Just depends what longitude that you're at. The southern end of this, for Andy and others, is 34 south. Now this analysis is mine. I'm looking at satellite imagery taken at 1740 hours. The tallest cloud that I see is, like yesterday, I think I mentioned, minus 50 degrees C. So this is indicative of probable CB activity, but this temperature is scattered. It's here and there in this band, so it's not continuous. Now, if I take the run line from Minerva to Opua as an example, The high cloud, in other words, cumulus congestus or cumulonimbus, that stops at 33 degrees 47 minutes. 33 degrees 47 minutes. And that's based on IR imagery. Now, visible imagery shows low cloud continuing a little bit further. And there are breaks in all of this. The overcast has breaks, just enough to fool you. So that's, for Andy's sake, I guess, that's pretty much the dimensions of this thing. So what happens tomorrow may be a little bit different, but probably not much. So anyway, if you're approaching Opua or Marsden Wednesday, looking at Wednesday, I'd say when you're at 30 south, I always figure it's about 3 days to home plate. So approaching Opua or Marsden Wednesday around lunchtime, should see easterlies 15 to 20 and scattered cloud and very doubtful rain, although they are talking about rain the following day on Thursday. But Wednesday, it's not too bad. The conditions aren't too bad, really. And really, you're not missing anything in Tonga. Strong wind warnings are up, gusts 20 to 25 knots, although a little bit less in Minerva. And Fiji is expecting a trough later today, and winds there 15 to 20 and rough seas. So I hope that answers all of your questions about when this is going to end. So it's a little bit further. So there you go. So that's all, folks. And with that, here's the chief.
Well, I've certainly run out of fingers trying to count up the number of boats coming to New Zealand. I counted up 70 boats that are en route to New Zealand at the moment. There are a lot going to Australia too, 34 on the AIS going to Australia. So it is a very, very busy time out there in the ocean. Absolutely amazing picture with all the little purple spots on the AIS chart. I'll just give Bent a call again. Bent, Gulf Harbour Radio. Nothing heard. And what about Rome, Gulf Harbour? Nothing heard. Okay, is there anybody with anything? Please call now. Taku, go ahead.
Just curious what David's analysis of the weather in Australia. We're about halfway there, and a lot of boats are diverting to Thunderbird because of possible thunder, lightning, also. Just wondering if David thinks that's probably a better time for heading north. Over.
Okay, so Taku heading for Southport, and the boats evidently are reluctant to get into Bundaberg. Just repeating this for David because of activity there. I don't know that he has actually looked at that. He looked at what's in the middle.
Max wants to go.
Yes, so he's looked in the middle. Just stand by one, and we'll have a look, Sabrina.
Oops. Okay, so Bundaberg, yeah.
Well, they're going to Southport.
Okay, but where is Southport?
Further south.
Oh, that's very funny. Further south. I actually am not sure where Southport is.
Almost on the border.
So come back to me where the latitude of Southport is. Over.
27 degrees, it's just south of Brisbane.
Just south of Brisbane.
Okay.
It's almost on the border.
So, yeah, alrighty. Well, looking now, looking tomorrow at about lunchtime, I see winds are coming pretty much out of the north as you approach land. And there is basically a trough that runs up and down the coast. It sort of starts just south of Bundaberg, and then it continues on past Coffs and doesn't quite, doesn't get to Sydney because it's almost going due south. That's Monday. Tuesday, that is not good. The weather definitely packs up, and you have trough activity all the way from well north of Bundaberg. In fact, there's a lot of thunderstorm activity along the coast, all the way. My chart doesn't even cover how far south it goes. It just continues south, not along the coast, but almost due south. It's all thunderstorms from Coffs just almost to the latitude of Tasmania. So the winds, as they are on the east side of that trough, are all coming out of the northeast. And once you're in that thunderstorms, it's not nice. It's pretty nasty. So I'm not sure when you will be there. You're at 23 and 169.
24 almost.
So you've got
161.
Yeah. Oh.
24, 161.
161. Okay. So you've got another day and a half or so before you get there. So this was Tuesday I just talked about. And looking at Wednesday, the band moves toward you, unfortunately. So you are going to run into it no matter what you do. So I'm afraid to give you that. Although the good news is once it gets further east, it gets into waters of a different temperature, and the thunderstorms have diminished considerably, although not up in the latitudes of Bundaberg. Up there, it's still quite a bit of thunderstorm activity. And that, the longitude of all of this is 160 east, 160 east. So that's Wednesday at noon. So you'll have to figure out where you're going to be at that time. Then along the coast, on the west side of that, everything clears up, all along the coast of the Gold Coast, I guess you could say.
But they're going to Southport.
Yeah. Well, the good news is on Thursday, the 6th, the new high takes over, and that is going to be just east of Sydney, a little bit to the southeast of Sydney. It's weak. It's a 1020, 1020. And the obvious winds are going to be out of the southeast if you're on the east side or the center, and then it's going to be northeast on the land side. So pleasant conditions, I would say, and that's Thursday. So is any of that of use? Over.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. We appreciate that, and I think we have to make some decisions this evening to see where we're going to head for.
Yeah, he'll go into a bit more detail again tomorrow night because you'll be pretty much needing a final decision by then. So we'll keep looking at you as the day progresses tomorrow and talk again tomorrow night. Yeah. All right, quite a few people in the same position. Okay, we'll clear with Taku, and there's a hello from Miltaki, who left dinner out yesterday. They're currently at around 2-2 south in relaxed seas with 17 knots, so that sounds pretty good so far for them. Is there anybody else with anything to raise at this point, and any homework that David will need to do before tomorrow? Soy Libre, Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, the groups haven't been accurate on any of it, but if we possibly arrived, Mary and I, on Tuesday afternoon, what would be the arrival like?
Okay, you're looking at arrival Tuesday afternoon. Well, I can tell you what Tuesday afternoon is going to be, because isn't that getting near no, it's not. It's Wednesday is Guy Fawkes night. I just should warn people who are arriving, because Fireworks are for sale as of now. The rules are that they can be 5 days ahead, so don't be too concerned about all sorts of different things happening in the sky. It's not very good for boats on passage who might be looking at wanting to raise the alarm, but just stay safe, everybody, because no one will take any notice of it with these sorts of things. But let's get back to Tuesday and your arrival weather.
Well, it's beautiful. You're going to have a lovely arrival on Tuesday. I'm looking at what Met Service has got to say. Northeast 10 knots, turning easterly 10 knots early morning, and then easing to variable 5 knots in the afternoon. Partly cloudy, of course. We've got a fair amount of that low cloud. So excellent conditions. So do you think you're going to be there by Tuesday at lunch? That's 2 days from where you are. That's moving along pretty good. Over.
Yeah, it's a good cost. It's a possibility. And we won't have wind in our face, but we'll have some cheerful wind too.
Okay. If you don't make it Tuesday and it's Wednesday, that's even better, really. They're calling off fine weather for Wednesday. This is in the Bay of Islands area. Variable 5 knots, easterly later 10 knots. So northeast swell 1 meter. So very, very good conditions. And even Thursday. Thursday is not so hot because there is a chance of rain on Thursday. Not that it's going to be nasty. It's not frontal rain. So easterly 10 knots and a northeast swell 1 meter. So yeah, Tuesday looks good. Wednesday looks good. So no problem, Andy. Over.
You're awesome, Dave. Really appreciate your input.
Yeah, there's nothing like a nice arrival to make up for the misery of the current weather conditions. So, and it does look as if New Zealand's going to have a decent week for a change. All right. Okay, I think that's about it. We'll be back again tomorrow night. I'm just absolutely astounded at the number of boats heading this way. It's going to certainly be quite fun in Opua and Whangarei with catching up on everybody and sharing the tales of woe from the front. Okay, cheers everybody. It was a great night for hearing you all tonight. No problems at all. So have a good night. The frequency's all yours if you want it. Cheers all.
Film the stars, and again. Okay.
Film the stars, then again.
Hey, Film the stars, how are you guys going? Hello?
It's going good. Like, Mary's just
175 miles from Opua. It's 20
early watch,
westing,
and so I'm
25,
running the show here.
30 knots from the east. Still
Excellent,
pretty
excellent.
nasty
So,
seas.
sounds like
Thank you for
you're
that.
almost through the nasty stuff.